Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I am just going to, I want to say quickly, but it's not quick, go through my plant propagation progress with you. This is my Philodendron Brazil, and it's put out quite a few new leaves since I took this cutting. It's doing pretty well overall. I've been really happy with its progress. I think it's been pretty happy where it is, and I do tend to keep it really close to the plant that I took the cutting from, and so it's getting exactly the same type of light, and when I put it close to the plant, it almost blends in, so it just looks like the plant looks much fuller because of the clear container that this propagation is in. So for this propagation, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in this old pharmacy bottle that I have. I really like it. I think it's a cool look. And just quickly, you can see the roots here. It's got this primary root system, but it's starting to develop these kind of secondary roots, which is really good. I want to make sure that all of that's fully developed before I start thinking about transitioning this to soil. Now, this propagation is going back into the plant that I took the cutting from, and it's really just to kind of help fill out the top of the plant that's become a little leggy. This is a Marble Queen and Golden Pothos mix. I took these cuttings for a friend, and now I've realized I'm probably going to have to, and I decided to, I'm going to transition it from this old kind of vintage vase that I've got into this wide-mouthed glass container that I had from an event that we had earlier this year. I do tend to keep, all glass that I get like this, as well as durable plastics, things like that. They come in handy if you're a plant person for a variety of different things. You can really use these. And I hate having to feel like I'm not finding, ways to reuse things that definitely have, a second, third, or fourth life ahead of them if we really try to figure it out. So as you can see, this is starting to develop some of those like kind of secondary roots as well, but it's a lot slower. So the cuttings from both the pothos as well as the Philodendron Brazil happened around the same time. So we're looking at about, I want to say 2 months out. And you can see here that some of them, the way that I decided to take the cuttings, actually started to develop new shoots, and that they've grown underwater. So there are leaves that were starting to develop underwater. It looked really cool, but again, I'm going to try to kind of get them into this wide-mouthed container. And then that way as well, I hate that, the thought about disturbing or hurting the roots as I, move them around and transition them. So I feel a lot more comfortable. They're not going to display, this display is not going to look as pretty as it looked in a vase that has that narrow neck where I can really arrange the leaves in this kind of beautiful pattern. But to be honest with you, this is at the point where this is really definitely more about propagation than display. And again, this is for a friend of mine, and she asked if I couldn't create a plant that used some of my Marble Queen pothos as well as my Golden Pothos together. And I love that idea. So, I'm happy that this is really progressing. And I think she'll be happy once it's ready. I have another propagation here that's for a friend. Actually, I'll show that to you. I'll make sure that I put in some new footage of a Monstera Deliciosa accidental propagation where I accidentally broke off a piece of my Monstera plant and started to propagate it. And I've already transitioned that into soil. And I'm growing it and just making sure that it's going to be sturdy enough before giving that to her. I don't want her having to struggle with a plant that's not quite ready. So I'm just filling this back up with water. Again, it doesn't look as neat as it did in that vase. And at the same time, that's okay. It still looks really cool. These are beautiful leaves. I know pothos are common and people, maybe are like, how boring, but I love it. I love the variegation on these. And They're very, I mean, when you can really get them looking lush, they're just beautiful plants to have in your home. They're easy to take care of. I'm using tap water here, as you can see, and I've got, if you've been to my channel before, I've got quite a few fussy plants that just will not handle tap water. So anytime I can use tap water, shocked. So here are 3 pothos leaves, right? I took these at the same time I did the cuttings. They didn't have nodes. These were like 3 leaves that I thought, I don't want to throw them away, so I'll put them in water and see how long they last. Look, they grew roots. Can you believe it? I'm thinking here maybe about updating them to this other pharmacy bottle, but the neck is even narrower on that bottle than on this one. I'm really worried as I'm taking these out. I just don't want to damage the roots. So I left these in water for about a month. No, I didn't see roots. I didn't see anything. And then about 2 weeks ago, the water had almost finished evaporating. And I looked over and I go, oh my God, there's roots in there. So I immediately rushed it over to the sink and filled it with water again. I had just been displaying it. And so this took extra time for roots to grow. But in some cases here, the roots just grew out of the spot where I cut the stem off the plant. They didn't have necessarily nodes. Now, what I don't know, the technicalities here, is that there might have been nodes about to form that hadn't made it to the external part of the stem. But all 3 of them rooted, shocking enough. It took about double the time as the leaves that were connected to visible nodules, to these nodes. So completely shocked, completely blown away. And now I've got these 3 leaves that are rooting. And since I don't want to use the more narrow necked pharmacy bottle, this was a Old Spice jar. I took the sticker off of it and ran it through the dishwasher a few times, and I've used it for a variety of things. I've put, Q-tips in it, things like that. And I figured it might be perfect now to actually keep these 3 rooted leaves. And these I will be putting back into my golden pothos and trying to help kind of make it a little bit thicker and lush at the top, because it has thinned quite a bit. It's gotten very long vines, to the point where when I cut them for my friend, I was actually happy to do so. They've gotten so long. However, it's shocking. 2 months. I mean, it took double the time to get roots to come out, but it rooted. It was just blew my mind. And so here is the Philodendron Brazil here on the counter. I should have cleared the counter off. I've got so much stuff here right now. That old pharmacy bottle, the newly rooted golden pothos leaves, in water, and then I've got here the Marble Queen and golden pothos in the new container, and I'm going to add, I think, a little bit more water to that, but very happy overall, just thrilled. And while we're here, why not say hello to my Calatheas? Here is my Calathea White Star. Hello to you. You're looking lovely. You're looking beautiful. My Rosie, and another Rosie over here. Hello, Rosie. And another Rosie. So I've got 3 Rosies. I bought so many Rosies when I found them. My Picturata argentea, which is getting huge and incredibly tall. And then over here is that Monstera that I was telling you about. And again, it started out, it had 2 leaves when it came off its plant. It's grown 3 since. This last one's pretty big. I'm putting my hand up here so you can see how big it is. I think it's ready. So if you're watching, my friend who this is for, I am going to be passing this on to you soon. And then here, just quickly, here's a plant that I got kind of on impulse. It's a Little Pickles ruby necklace, and it's very eye-catching. The purple stems are just amazing and gorgeous and beautiful. It was quite dried out when I first got it. You can see the new growth here looks a lot better. And I thought, I kind of feel like I have to have that. I think I just have to have that. So I picked it up. I put it here. It's by my sliding glass door in the kitchen, and again, it's doing pretty well. I'm watering it. I want to say that even though it's fall, I've been watering it about every 4 days. And then here are some kind of rescue succulents that I have. from folks who had succulents that were starting to really stretch and that needed more light. So I put them here actually into my fiddle leaf fig pots. I've got 3 fiddle leaf figs right here. And if you saw my last video, you saw me repotting those. Again, doing that well into fall, which there are some people here who will absolutely be horrified that I did that outside of spring, but I did. So this is my propagation update, my Calatheas say hello to all of you update, and or at least a couple or a few of my Calatheas say hello. And I'm sorry for the infrequency of videos. I have been working a lot, and I've been traveling for work a lot and taking on quite a few things. And so it's been more difficult for me to get videos out consistently. And that does bother me because I do like to be consistent. So I might try to stick from now till through the spring, maybe every other Sunday, trying to get a video up. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to get a schedule set, and then hopefully it will be more regular. It'll return to being more of a regular upload routine for me. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, any ideas, any suggestions, as always, you know they're appreciated. Please leave them in the comments. And until next time, be well and take care.